everybody? Day 3 of E3, and things have been kind of crazy today. It's been all Ubisoft and Sony, and Sony's event just got out, and we have thoughts, and we're just going to kind of summarize the highlights for all of you. I'm Jack Gardner, and with me today are Marcus Stewart and Naomi Lugo. How are you two fine folks doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, pretty great.
Recovering from Bethesda last night, but still doing pretty good.
Yeah,
we're less zombies than we were yesterday, or technically this morning.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, so you both saw Ubisoft up close, and what were kind of your takeaways? I know that some people, Twitter kind of blew up about Miyamoto going to Ubisoft.
Mm.
What was that all about?
So the Mario Rabbids, I don't know how the actual title is pronounced, if it's Cross Rabbids or
it was Mario plus Rabbids.
Kingdom Battle?
Yes, Kingdom Battle.
Okay, so it is plus Rabbids.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, they kicked off with that, which to me seems smart, because that was, next to Assassin's Creed Origins, that was kind of like the worst kept secret of E3.
But it was kind of weird leading with it. I guess getting Miyamoto out there at the beginning was good, but I don't know.
What a weird game to have him lead with.
It was a weird tone to start out Ubisoft
It's
with.
his creation.
Yeah.
Is it his creation?
I mean, Mario is.
Well, yeah.
You gotta get his half in there, like, hey, it's almost like asking the parent permission.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we got your children here.
I'm still baffled that the Rabbids have become like a thing.
That there's still a thing.
Yeah.
Like, that came out first Wii, and it was, random mini games.
They kind of remind me of, like, a less successful Minions.
Yeah.
The proto-minions?
Yeah, like, they haven't kind of, like, taken over pop culture like they have.
Yeah.
Like, I like Rabbids, but it just... I don't know. Something about them didn't click back then, and I don't think mushing them with Mario is going to necessarily fix that, but I'm more than willing to play this game.
Yeah.
It was just kind of weird to see an XCOM strategy, style gameplay with Mario, let alone Mario and Rabbids together.
So it's like a turn-based strategy game with Rabbids and Mario.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think the earlier rumors were that it would be an RPG, but it's just closer to more tactical style. So, like...
That's so weird.
Right.
Tactical and Mario.
Yes.
Yeah, and Rabbids, like, if it's... But honestly, the gameplay trailer that they showed, it looked nice graphically, like nice colors. It popped. The environments looked really cool. And then the actual gameplay, I mean... I like those kind of games. So
bafflingly, it looks really solid.
I mean, you just gotta look at their audience. Like, who are they trying to appeal to with this kind of gameplay? Like, if it's for kiddos, I don't know. Like, I would want the RPG style versus the XCOM style.
Or
I don't
even,
know.
like, would you want, even for, like, little kids that are into Rabbids, like, an RPG in general? Like, is this, like, will this be, like, the entry-level point of, like,
yeah,
hey,
it's supposed to be an RPG with
like,
quotes around it.
This is where you get in if you want to get into XCOM. This will get you started.
All right.
But the gameplay it showed was, like, you go into these zones and Mario's taking cover behind objects and popping up.
Oh, yeah,
to
so
shoot.
Miyamoto came on stage with a replica gun, and then he gave whoever was on stage, I can't remember.
Yves Guillemot.
Yeah, he gave him another gun, and they kind of had a cute little battle together. It was super adorable. So that's why he was there, and then they had a little conversation, which was also adorable. So.
All right.
Yeah, but that's coming August 29th.
Okay,
so
cool.
Sure.
What were kind of the standout moments, aside from that, for Ubisoft?
Probably the end of it. So they started with that, and then they concluded with Beyond Good and Evil 2.
What?
I know, which was crazy, because I believe Michel Ancel kind of said that it was not going to be at E3 in any meaningful capacity.
Relatively recently. He was saying, like, there's nothing going on with Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah, he was like, maybe later, and then it's the complete opposite of, like, here's this giant presentation for this game in a big, like, 3-minute trailer. And it
was a gorgeous trailer. Like, that was the way to do that. That was the way for that game to make a comeback back into the public consciousness.
Did they show any gameplay?
No, it was all cinematic.
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of disappointing.
But, I mean, the world that they showed was just so enticing.
Yeah.
Like, the characters, the cast, like, just the humor and the tone. of that game. Like it showed like this monkey character. Who I believe I looked online at things like Nox,
Yeah,
kind of
something like that.
swindling this pig boss with this fake treasure that I guess he was supposed to bring, and then Pig gets all angry and he leads to like some big aerial chase with a human buddy with the cops following him, and it was really slick and well done.
Kind of
Yeah.
sounds
really
vaguely
pretty.
Indiana Jonesy.
A little bit. People
With
were
animals.
were just paralleling it to oh my gosh, what is it called? Fifth Element.
Okay.
It kind of had
Yeah, I
that
could
kind
see
of tone.
that
A
too.
little bit goofy,
Interesting.
but like an expansive universe behind it.
Mhm.
And it's actually like a prequel before Jade. So
Okay.
that's an interesting take for it.
So now if it's anything to go by, now that we've seen this cinematic trailer, we're just going to have to wait another 7 years-ish for the
Yeah.
next bit of Beyond Good and Evil 2 news. So enjoy that wait.
Yep, still no release window.
Yep.
Though you can join the Space Monkey Club if you're a fan, and apparently joining that lets you give input to the game's development, so you can help. You can help instead of sitting there waiting for it to come out. You can help make it come out faster, I guess.
Maybe. Hopefully.
Okay.
So those were kind of the two highlights from Ubisoft.
It was really cool seeing a South Park mobile game. It just takes the South Park tone and just goes with it. It was what was it called? It was
Wasn't it like
a
mobile
cowboy.
handheld breakers?
Phone Destroyer.
Phone Destroyer.
yes, and then it was
Yeah.
like mobile phone destroyer. It was just perfect South Park. And then of course we got an update on when Fractured But Whole is going to come out, and that is going to be October 17th this year. You know, we'll just wait and see on that. Fingers crossed, because this game was supposed to come out last year, October, I think.
Yeah.
It was October 2016. I mean, not that I'm against waiting and having them do a great job, because, you know, I think they have a really good vision of what South Park game needs to be. I'll have some faith.
Is
But
it
I want it.
Obsidian again?
No.
It's not Obsidian this time?
It's, oh man, I forgot the team. I think it's some like Ubisoft, like
Okay.
one of Ubisoft's teams.
Well,
I wanna say.
but they're still working with Trey Parker and
Yeah.
Matt
Yes.
Stone. Okay, that's all that really matters. All props to Obsidian, just for a
They're good teams.
South Park RPG. You really need to put the South Park into it. Obsidian's up to some cool stuff that we're actually going to be seeing later this week, so keep an eye peeled for that.
But real quick, they did show like 2 new IPs
Okay.
at this thing. They the first one was that Skull and Bones
Oh, yeah.
pirate.
That was
thing.
kind of a big deal.
That was pretty big. That was like a so pretty much they just made like their own Sea of Thieves
Yeah.
in a way.
And they had the shanties from Black Flag in the background.
Yeah,
and
like they gave Black Flag
Is
some
it-
lip service
Yeah.
during their presentation.
Wait, so is it like a spin-off of Black Flag?
No.
It's gonna be online multiplayer. I
'Cause
don't
that
know if
would
it's
be-
online only.
It's not in the Assassin's Creed universe.
Because it would be kind of cool if it was.
But it's pirates, but it's not Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they just opened with that, just pirates.
Is it similar kind of gameplay to Assassin's Creed?
It seemed like it, but like the big thing, like Sea of Thieves, is that they're doing. I think they said a shared systemic world. With
Yeah.
5v5 multiplayer.
So what does that mean? Does that mean like 10 people inhabit the same world,
Yeah, and then they just fight each other in their ships,
like for all time?
like as a crew, like a crew of 5 on one ship, and then a crew of 5 on another ship,
Or
and
like-
they're fighting each other.
Or like you start the game and like different teams of like 5 pirates will like fade in and out of your game
Yes,
world.
or if it's shared world, like a journey, so to speak. Is
Yeah.
that a shared world where like it's just populated with people, or like like Destiny.
Yeah.
So maybe if you just get in there, there's just people sailing around, and you can do whatever you want with them. You can leave them alone or mess with them.
Okay. Cool.
So, but yeah, that's a thing that's happening.
Yeah,
I was just struck by how like remarkably similar the pitch was to Sea of Thieves to me.
Yeah, I
Like a gritty Sea of Thieves.
kind of like what we said with Sea of Thieves. It feels highly like something you really need to play to get an accurate read on whether or not it plays well.
Mhm.
It's hard to tell from just a trailer.
Yeah, though at least this is Ubisoft, who we know can make a good pirate game.
That's true. True.
So, and then the other one was that space game, Star.
Yes.
Star. I keep wanting to say Star Killer.
It's not Star Killer.
Starlink Battle for Atlas,
Okay.
which at first, when I first saw it, I just kept thinking No Man's Sky.
Okay.
Like what everyone wanted No Man's Sky to be.
There are going to be a lot of games like that over the next few years, I bet.
Yeah, but the big thing about that thing was that it had these like physical ships that you buy and you put together like models and you connect them to your controller, and then somehow that affects gameplay. So
is this supposed to be kind of like more oriented towards kids?
I mean,
I didn't get that vibe from the trailer, but
because
kind of
that
more of like
sounds like a brilliant idea, like along the same lines as like Skylanders.
I
or
guess it
something.
kind of had like
Yeah.
a PG vibe to it, like kind of like an everyone can enjoy this kind of game.
Like, because that sounds like you're combining Legos and
Because they had like a young protagonist, like a preteen.
okay,
dude.
I can see where that would blow up real
Yeah.
quick if done right.
But they're both in like a big online universe. You can you can fly around and go to planets and look for
You can sail the stars,
artifacts.
Marcus.
And you can make your own custom starship by
Okay.
finding new parts and building your own ship. And then you can do that in real life with these really, actually nice looking model ships.
Cool.
Then they showed like the guy's assembling on his little controller, and he would like add a gun, and then the gun would appear in game. But it just also looked like kind of unwieldy because like this big model ship on like the Nintendo Switch controller. And I don't know where that fits in there, but it does. And the same with the DualShock. So yeah, that's coming next year, but that's a really unique idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So overall, how would you guys kind of score Ubisoft's press conference?
I mean, it started out goofy, but then ended on such a strong note, and it gave a lot of what I think fans wanted with the Pirates game, with Beyond Good and Evil 2. It got a solid B for me.
Okay, but it didn't really have like that super killer app.
No.
Outside of Beyond Good and Evil, but then what holds that back is we still don't know when a game's happening.
Exactly.
We don't know when
Exactly.
it's happening. We don't know what the gameplay looks like.
It was great if you're a fan to kind of get confirmation. I think that it still exists.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's
then,
coming
yeah.
along.
Oh, and then there was, quick before we move on, there was a awkward little dance number from Just Dance 2018.
The annual Just Dance.
Yeah, there was a dancing panda on stage. I think there was a J-pop
was that what that was?
crew.
I only saw a
Yeah.
little bit of that.
And then there was I can't remember her name, but she came on
the
stage
singer.
and she sang this song, and
Reba
then
something.
it's
We've
like
never heard of this
grammatically
one.
incorrect title of the song, and it's like "You Like How I Are" or something like that. So do more research on that. I
Yeah,
guess.
neither of us are very cool. We didn't know who this person
Yeah,
was.
we did not. The Way I Are. And that's one of the songs that is featured on
Just
the
Dance.
press release for Just Dance
It must
2018.
be popular because of all the songs
Yeah.
they kind of led with.
Yeah, that's what she sang and opened it with. So.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I guess. How, Marcus? What about you? What do you score it?
Beyond Good and Evil brings things up for me. They did a good job putting that at the end. I like that they showed those two new IPs. It's always cool to see new franchises, and both of them look pretty cool. So I think this is one of their better years. And some of the stuff they touched on, they showed some Assassin's Creed gameplay after the show. Just Dance, that VR game with Elijah Wood, they got a very brief teaser. So I might give this a solid B-.
Okay, cool. And now we're moving on to Sony, which was much hyped up this year. There were some pretty high expectations, especially since it's going against Microsoft, and everyone knew they were going to have Project Scorpio, now Xbox One X. So what stood out? We just finished watching kind of what they had to offer. What stood out to you two?
For me, in a way, what stood out to me, not so much was any individual game, but was that there wasn't anything brand new that was shown. I mean, the biggest new thing for me was the remaster of Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
That was a complete surprise, and a very cool surprise. But outside of a couple of the VR games, everything was all stuff that we knew about.
It was really cool to see Skyrim in VR. I mean, just nerd out about that for a little bit. I mean, we already saw Fallout 4 and then Doom in VR, so just having those trio, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We just need Wolfenstein VR.
Yeah.
I have to say, Shadow of the Colossus is hands down one of my favorite games of all time, if not my favorite game of all time. So seeing that that's going to get not just a new upgrade to 4K, but a complete overhaul visually to kind of make it on par with more modern games makes me really happy. Like I was watching the trailer, and you two can verify, but I was just like, oh man, he's running less floppy now. Like I know this game so well, I can like see little details they changed in the animation just from what they showed, and I am super excited about that. But you're right, there wasn't a whole lot of new stuff, and the thing I'm most excited about is a remaster of a game that is 12 years old.
Yeah, there wasn't much in general. It felt shorter this year.
Yeah, and we just got an update on God of War. I mean, the trailer was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah,
it was great to see what type of content would actually be there. We got to see an expanded universe. We got to see Kratos walking around with his son. Got a little bit of more to speculate on now.
Add fuel to the fire.
Yes.
So yeah, we saw more God of War. We saw more of Detroit.
That was interesting.
More Destiny 2.
Yeah, more Destiny 2. Kind of them touting their exclusivity window.
Yep.
Their time stuff. We saw more of Uncharted.
Yes,
Last Legacy.
Uncharted Last Legacy.
That's what they started with.
We got Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, Monster Hunter. We got a story DLC for Horizon Zero Dawn, which I'm pretty pumped about.
Yeah.
It's a great game. For me, personally, the end of that, like, kind of your nerding out overshadowed the Colossus was my nerding out for Spider-Man.
Yes.
That if nothing else, that they closed that really strong with a really long look at, I guess, an entire mission of that game.
I do have to say, I was super impressed. Like, I heard you muttering, like, oh man, I wonder if that's Mr. Negative. And then, like, 5 minutes later, like, you totally nailed who that character was.
Mr. Negative, everyone's favorite.
Classic Spider-Man villain that everyone knows.
Everyone knows Mr. Negative.
Who doesn't? I do like that they're digging into their rogue gallery a bit more, kind of, bringing some more recent characters in there.
I still have to say, I'm disappointed at no Mysterio.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Mysterio's...
We don't know.
I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan or nerd, but I really want to see Mysterio in more things just because I love the way he's designed as like a weird orb wizard man.
Yeah, like just the special effect. He's just a disgruntled special effects guy.
Yep, who wears...
That's more or less his story.
And I mean, the motion on Spider-Man himself was just really awesome to see. Like, I am excited for that combat. I'm not the biggest fan of games like that. I mean, it kind of reminded me of Batman a little bit, just the way they paid attention to how Spidey moved, just like they paid attention to how Batman moves. And yeah, it was really smooth. I'm excited for that part.
I loved the part. I loved when when we got to actually see Spider-Man swinging through the city after the helicopter, because we had just been talking a little bit about kind of those set piece moments where you have to have contextual button presses, and it was nice to be able to see kind of this really cinematic moment. And I don't think it was like pre-rendered. I think that was actual gameplay of a player, going after the helicopter, swinging through the city. Yeah, and that was really neat.
Yeah, that game looks really, really good. That's pretty much. It looks smooth. It looks crisp. I like the humor, the dialogue. It nailed the tone of what a Spider-Man game should be. I like that they're doing their own original adventure, and they're, at least for now, kind of keeping it somewhat grounded, because I think the last few Spider-Man games from last generation got a little too wild with like the time travel and interdimensional stuff.
Question: what did you think about kind of almost the post-credits stinger?
The Miles Morales. Maybe Miles Morales. It probably won't get any, like, they probably won't go anywhere with that.
You don't think so?
In the game, so I don't think so, but I mean, I'm open to them exploring that if they want to. It's an interesting little seed to plant.
So for those of us who don't know the Spider-Man universe, can you let us know what that means?
Oh, well, yeah, if you don't know Miles Morales, he is the Spider-Man in Ultimate Spider-Man. He takes over after the Ultimate Universe of Spider-Man gets killed. He has like the red and black suit. He's been around for 4 or 5 years now at this point, but he's become a pretty popular character.
Yeah, he's one of the more popular Spider people.
Yeah, he definitely has become.
And I think he's also like the most popular Ultimate Universe superhero. Not 100% sure about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ultimate Spider-Man himself has always been the most popular Ultimate property. So he's kind of, but I've read a lot of the Miles comics, and they're really good. I like Brian Michael Bendis' writing for Spider-Man. So. Yeah, so it was a nice, if it doesn't go anywhere, it was a nice little
nod.
Like, nice
wink
nod,
to the
if
audience.
nothing else. Yeah. So.
Okay. So, overall, Sony press conference. What would you guys give it?
I mean, going in, it was all about the hype, right? Like, what are we going to see from Sony? We're going to get some awesome new stuff. We're going to see all these, updates. And we did. But then, afterwards, it's like, oh, okay. We got what we wanted. We didn't really get the wow factor, though. So I'm at a solid, or I'm at a C. Not a solid C, just a C.
Okay.
Just because viewers at home got all sorts of weird, random, pullouts and...
There was some weird production.
Yeah, we got to see a lot of audience reaction where they're just looking bored, and we, heard very quiet clapping, and that just kind of took us out of the immersion,
They kept showing the same, 3 dudes in, the front row every 2 seconds. It was, this big guy in a red shirt. Saw him, 50 times, it felt like, tonight.
Yeah, it's Sony. They should have this stuff on lock. And that
random pyro that went off.
Yeah, random fire right before Marvel versus Capcom. Why?
Yeah. I'm kind of in your same camp around a C-ish, because it's the only times I was really floored watching that was Shadow and Spider-Man, and maybe to a somewhat lesser extent God of War, but it's okay, yeah.
God of War was kind of expected. It had to be at that level or above.
Yeah, I was really impressed by it, and maybe I'm biased because I'm a big Spider-Man fan, but that was also the first real coming out party for gameplay for that game, because last year it was just a teaser.
Yeah.
So it's whoa! So, but everything else was, nice looks and everything, but it just, I can't shake the sensation that I felt like there's something missing here. It almost felt like it was cut short. I felt like there was going to be more, and there wasn't.
Yeah, we didn't get a lot of talks from devs, explaining what makes these games awesome. We got a Shadow of the Colossus trailer, but we don't know what's going on about that. We don't know if it's a remaster. We don't know what they're doing with it.
Yeah.
Well, and especially with all, the drama around Team Ico and kind of how that has fallen out post... Project Trico, The Last Guardian. There we go. Mm. I'm so used to thinking of it without a name. And yeah, you're right. We didn't get a whole lot of background information. And so, it's tough, especially because we were talking about it quite a bit during the lead up, and we were expecting a lot more new IP to kind of make an appearance at the PlayStation press conference.
Yeah. Everyone else so far has had some sort of new IP. And that's kind of been the trend of the year so far.
It's kind of surprising for Sony, too. They're usually one of the kind of forerunners for that stuff.
Right.
They were kind of dead last this year, depending on what Nintendo shows tomorrow.
Yeah, it's... dead last in terms of showing new IP. I think I was more excited about a lot of the games that they showed, even if we had already knew they were coming.
Mm-hmm. Some stuff didn't have... To me, there was a couple games that fell flat, like Marvel vs. Capcom fell flat for me.
Yeah.
Days Gone, I thought the demo last year was more impressive than the one they showed this year for me. Yeah, those were just kind of glaring low points.
Yeah.
And then the VR stuff,
It was
Final
cool.
Fantasy fishing.
Oh, yeah.
That's really what ruined it for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what a show went off a cliff for you.
We get to see Skyrim in VR. That's just so awesome. And then all of a sudden we get Final Fantasy 15 with this random music, and you're Noctis fishing. There's so much more you could do with Final Fantasy 15 in VR, not just the mini fishing game. So I'm better.
You have to summon the pole with your arm.
Even if you did a boss battle demo, you're fighting Leviathan in VR. That would be so cool.
What if you have to catch Leviathan?
That's the end boss of the fishing game. Is you catch Leviathan.
That'd actually be.
That's how you
be
earn.
actually kind of.
That's how you earn his service.
Oh my gosh.
So.
Yeah, it's I had higher expectations for the Sony press conference than I did for anyone else.
Even the stage was less impressive.
Well, not that they didn't try though.
They had Brandon Williams.
They had better stages. Like Microsoft had the big, nice stage they always have.
Again, it's the immersion. Like we could see the entire audience. You know, Microsoft had that like eerie green glow. They just had their trend or their marketing on point, branding.
They had to have good like lighting on the stage because they had to hang people upside down. Like zombies.
Yeah, the most I remember about...
And then they were gone. There was no explanation.
What happened to them?
Yeah.
We don't know.
And granted, the stage presentation has no bearing on the games, but the most I remember about Sony is their big red curtain. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see just cut out the crap, just give us cool looking stuff and people that care about those games to explain what makes them so special.
No Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, that was shocking.
Yeah, no big indie showcase like they usually do.
Like they have been really playing up Crash Bandicoot's return. Like that's coming out pretty soon.
Yeah. And
I was basically 100% certain that they were going to be announcing Crash Team Racing as part of the Crash bundle. Mm-hmm. That didn't happen. Yeah. So I'm a little bit salty about that.
Yeah, it was weirdly lacking this year.
Maybe they had something big that pulled out at the last minute, or
I wonder if the existence of the PlayStation experience kind of, they have to save stuff to show there at the end of the year.
Yeah,
I wonder
that could be.
Yeah, you have to believe that plays some sort of role into their decision making for what they're going to show at these things now.
Yeah, do have to commend them a little bit on focusing, or at least giving a full showcase on their VR capabilities.
Yes.
I mean, Bethesda had a couple of games. We already touched on that, but PlayStation has the PSVR. They already have this technology. They need games for that, and they actually delivered on that. So I will commend them on that.
Yeah, and like the games look pretty all right.
Yeah.
What did they have again? They had
Final Fantasy 15 Fishing.
Yep.
Skyrim.
Skip past that one.
And we got Star Child.
Star Child, that weird looking one. Supermassive had two. They had one kind of like psychological, like horror looking thing.
Yeah, it was called The Inpatient.
Yeah, but it's like a play on words, like patient, like doctor.
Yeah.
It like takes place in like some sort of hospital or asylum.
Yeah, and then we had Bravo Team, and then Moss, which is a play on words for mouse.
Yeah, Bravo Team looked nothing really remarkable, just like VR army game. That's about it.
I mean, VR is kind of cool in that something that looks kind of typical can turn into something really cool in actual practice.
Yes, I mean, we're not going to get that full experience until we get to, turn around and see a dragon and then fight a dragon in VR. Like, that's what blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like, it could look lackluster because we're just seeing Skyrim again on the screen. We've already seen it like 3 times now.
I've seen a lot of Skyrim.
We're so spoiled this year.
It feels like it's 2011 again. Like Skyrim's all over the place.
Yeah, we get the Switch, we get VR, and then we got what's it called? That new community creation community thing.
It's coming to Elder Scrolls Legends.
Creation Club, yeah.
It's got that expansion for Elder Scrolls Legends.
Yeah.
Skyrim.
So, I mean...
This is the year of Skyrim. Finally. Finally, Skyrim gets some spotlight.
Yeah, and we also did get to see a little bit of Call of Duty there.
Yeah, nice Call of Duty trailer. Just more gameplay.
Yeah.
It's World War II.
Yep.
And, yeah.
That's pretty much it.
People were really excited when that was first announced, but I feel like the enthusiasm for it has kind of declined.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to affect buying power on it. I just don't think people are going to be excited to talk about it because it is Call of Duty and it is World War II. But everyone's just excited to actually be able to play it, I think.
But the whole point of them going back to World War II was to kind of rekindle excitement about Call of Duty because I don't think Infinite Warfare sold as many copies as they were hoping.
Yeah, it sold a lot.
Yeah.
By normal game standards, but by Call of Duty standards.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if World War II is going to be enough to pump those back up.
I can't shake this feeling that it's going to be one of those situations where they're answering a request of the fans of people like they should go back to World War II, and then they finally do it, and then nobody cares. Yeah. It's like we did what you wanted, and then you didn't care.
Yeah, I mean, there's always that possibility.
Yeah, we've seen it happen a few times with some stuff.
I mean, I don't think it was just kind of weird not seeing more of it. I mean, you brought up earlier that we've already seen it this year quite extensively, but it was just like that was like a major title of E3. Is I was expecting more of it. Maybe like in terms of like what we saw with Spider-Man, seeing actual expanded gameplay.
And they didn't announce any like Sony exclusive stuff with that. Kind of justify why it's been a trailer. It was literally just a trailer.
Yeah.
So, and kind of the same could be said for Destiny to a degree too.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting a whole lot from the Destiny appearance. It just kind of felt formulaic.
Yeah.
They're like inevitable.
Which is kind of weird. They strayed away from the tone that they created that everyone was really responding to, like the comedic tone with Nathan Fillion there.
Yeah.
And they kind of just went back to, this is a really cool, serious game and didn't really stay with what was making fans, jump on that again.
Right.
It kind of just, faded into the background. And a game like Destiny 2 does not just fade in the background, especially when people are so hyped about it.
Oh, yeah. So that's kind of those are kind of our overall impressions of the two press conferences that were here at day 3. Do you guys just kind of want to talk about like your experience getting here a little bit? Just like, because Naomi, you just got in today.
I did.
It's been a long day.
It has been a very long day because of Bethesda. I shake my fist at you, Bethesda, because I was Central Time and that was 11 p.m. So I didn't go to bed till like 2:30, 3 o'clock. Got on my plane like 6:30. So yeah, running on 2 hours of sleep, but I've been told that's kind of standard with E3. Like,
yep,
that's the baptism.
Par for the course.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's been great. Seeing E3 flyers, seeing video game characters like on the streets of LA. That's so cool.
Feels like we own everything.
Yeah, gamers are taking over. Like the Lyft drivers are like, "What's going on? What's happening?"
What have you done to our town?
They literally painted like the entire side of a building with Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2. That's pretty neat.
That's so
I just remember that same wall last year at the Gwent the Witcher card game.
Yep.
I was like, it just occurred to me now.
Yep.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, they do like a bunch of the buildings around here with video game stuff every year.
But it was Gwent.
Yeah, it was Gwent.
That was the year Gwent got announced.
Okay.
They were really pushing Gwent.
Yeah, they are. Well, I mean, they still are. Yeah.
It just went open beta recently.
Yeah.
Again, wasn't it?
It was in closed beta.
Yeah,
it's
now
open
you
beta.
can just download it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be crazy tomorrow just seeing how many people are going to be, just filing in there.
Yeah.
There's just going to be so much excitement, and that's what's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's from what I've always known of E3 is it's press exclusive. You know, it's all about getting information out there effectively, and now it's going to be more for the fans, which I think is definitely something that video games, that's the basis of video games, is the fan perception of it. And I think it's a cool idea to actually open it up to people. That doesn't mean I'm not going to be salty tomorrow when lines are going to be super long and there's going to be no bathroom access, but I do like...
You don't want to use the bathrooms there anyway.
Yeah.
They're not great.
Someone literally pooped on the floor my first year I was here. I don't know how that happened, but...
Yeah.
Try and avoid that. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah.
And no, that someone wasn't me. Okay?
Magically, it got on the floor.
I found it there. I swear.
In other words, tune into Extra Life Snapchat for
no. So Marcus, what about you?
I've been here. I guess I've been here the longest.
Yeah.
I came the day before you.
Yep.
I've been here since Saturday. Came in to do EA stuff, and I was the exact same way as you, Naomi. I was coming in on 2 hours of sleep the night before, and had to wake up really early and drive to a different city.
Yep.
To catch a plane and sit there for 5 hours, and then come here and then immediately have to figure out some stuff like catch a ride, get to my Airbnb, figure out how to get into my house, do that, drop stuff.
This is the glamorous part of E3.
Yeah, walking around Hollywood.
The reality.
Yeah, which was cool to see Hollywood, but then you're walking around with all your luggage, getting to your place, having to immediately do EA's conference, then go from there. Oh, also, like, before that, having to try to go to Starbucks to help Joe cover that, and then my laptop dying, and then having to run, and then realize all the Starbucks around here sucks, they didn't have outlets, and going back home, finishing that, then going right back out to go to EA's thing, and then sit in line for however long that was, and then not get in.
Several hours.
Yep, and then come back and finish up some stuff, and then finally just pass out.
Yeah.
And then, especially with the time change, because like I'm from Florida, so like wake up early and then you go back in time, so you're like, you gain more time. Like I'm awake even longer now. So, but I'm a little bit fried now, but it's that standard E3 fried where it's like it's more like your brain.
2 hours is enough sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I got more than you, unfortunately. Well, unfortunately for you, fortunately for me. But yeah,
you just kind of run on excitement for the week.
Yeah.
It's that familiar fatigue.
Yeah.
So if nothing else, I'm kind of glad I came early because now I'm already broken in. So like I've been here for 3 days already. So when the actual conference starts, I'm like I'm already in the trenches.
Yep.
So, let's just go.
All right. Well, thank you both for coming here tonight and helping me write stuff and doing an awesome job, kicking butt, taking names. This has been Extra Life at E3 day number 3. And be sure to tune in again tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday. We'll have wrap-ups for you. And if you want more information about stuff that was at the show, just look it up on community.extra-life.org. We have a whole bunch of articles going up, probably a bunch going up even about stuff we haven't even mentioned on this. So just go check it out, and we'll be back tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that and
forever.
Yeah.
To the end of time.
Yep, to the end of time. So that closes us out. Just and if you don't know what Extra Life is, it's basically an awesome charity where people raise money to help sick and injured kids in hospitals across the United States and Canada. You can sign up over on extra-life.org, and when you sign up, you actually get to choose which Children's Miracle Network hospital you want to support, and 100% of everything you raise goes directly to that hospital to help pay for the treatment of sick and injured kids. It's really amazing, and you also get a great excuse to play games, and that's really a big win-win. So go over there, sign up, guilt all your friends into joining. It's great.